Hello my people, as you all know, this is Lahai to Africa, a YouTube channel that is set to showcase Africa and to show what you need to see about Africa. My name is James Soje Selahai. We are ready to give you what you need to see and what you need to know and the information that you need to have about Africa. This is our home. We always say what needs to be done for the black people can only be done by the black people. So to inform our people across the world is something we're supposed to do as black people, to give the information ourselves. That is to tell our own story by our very selves. So today we are here at the Sierra Leone Peace and Cultural Monument. This is the place where they call the Peace and Cultural Monuments, which means they have a lot more to offer, and we have a lot more to show you from this very point. So today I'm here with a brother that is going to show me around. Can you please tell us?
Yeah, good afternoon once more. My name is John Momodu. I am the tour guide of the Sierra Leone Peace and Cultural Monument. This monument was established 14 years ago by the Sierra Leone forces. They want to showcase that they are not just there to fight war, they can do something that people admire. And this place was done after our civil war, and it was done by our military and during the regime of our former president, Dr. Anas Baikroma, and the former CDF, the Army Chief of Staff, Major General Alfred Nelson Williams. Feel free, you're going to enjoy the tour as we as Sierra Leoneans, and we're going to give you what you want to hear.
All right. So, Mr. Momodu.
So here is the Sierra Leone Peace and Cultural Monument. Yeah. We have two beautiful ladies, and these are hosted. These are welcoming you to the Sierra Leone Peace and Cultural Monument. As you can see that one, we have the Sierra Leone map on our chest. She's representing Sierra Leone, and this one she's representing Africa. In our traditional setting, if you come to Sierra Leone or you go to our different parts of Sierra Leone, this is the way they welcome people. You can see a port and a water in India. So this is our traditional way to welcome people. And over here, as you can see, these are elephants. This is just to showcase that we have them in Sierra Leone. You can find these elephants in the northern part of Sierra Leone in the Koinadugu district. Wow. From here to Koinadugu, it's 177 miles. These elephants you are seeing, they occupy 300 acres of land. The place you can find it is called Otamba Kilimi National Park. But there are different types of animals here, and we don't want to lose them, so we are protecting these animals.
I'm just knowing that now, that we do have elephants here in Sierra Leone.
Oh yeah, we have them.
Wow.
Yeah. So we are protecting them because we don't want to lose them, because they are located with twins and Guinea. So we are protected with a chain like this, but bigger than this one, with electricity on it. So if this elephant want to cross the road to him, we will scare them, so they will come back. Because these are property of the Dominion, we want to lose them, we want to keep them. But if you have the opportunity to go there, we have different types of animals there. We have hippos, and we have different types of birds, so it's a very beautiful. So if you want to go there, feel free to go there and enjoy the beauty of Sierra Leone. So this is Sierra Leone, the Lion Mountain. Yes. 557 years ago, when a Portuguese sailor by the name of Pedro da Central, he said he discovered Sierra Leone. But there were people living in Sierra Leone. But Sierra Leone was in existence for 2,500 years. We have the Limbas, we have the Timinis, we have the Buloms, we have the Shibras. These are the original people that were settled in Sierra Leone, in the coastal area of Sierra Leone. When a man called Pedro da Central, he was sailing across West Africa and he was in search of fresh water and salt. Yeah, he saw the mountain. When he looked at the mountain, he said it resembled a lion. So he decided to call the mountain the Lion Mountain. The second reason, he came during the rainy season. During the rainy season, he heard the sound of the thunder and the lightning. He thought it was the roar of a lion. So he decided to call the mountain the Lion Mountain. But in 1808, when Sierra Leone became a crown colony by the British, they decided to change that word Sierra Leone because it is a Portuguese word to Sierra Leone. Yes. But the ministry remains the same, the Lion Mountain.
Okay. Wow, that's great. Well, people, as you can see, we are learning right here today, because the best of history is going to be told today to know much about Sierra Leone, West Africa, as we all know. This is Africa to the world. Now listen, subscribe, share, and give us a like, because that is the only way you can support this channel. So let's go.
Here is free at last. This image you are seeing, it represents 411 slaves that were bought in Sierra Leone.
Okay.
But we have two types of slavery that took place in Sierra Leone. We have the British system and that of the Portuguese system. The Portuguese system was the first batch of slaves, second by the British system. But the Portuguese system was different from that of the British. When these slaves were working for their masters, the Portuguese system, they have the right to see their loved ones, friends and relatives. Even when the Portuguese were going back, their property were given back to the slaves.
Okay.
But during the era of the British, these slaves they were classed as second-class animals and they were treated like animals. They took them to Kent, later they went to England and they came back to Sierra Leone. They passed through the gateway to the Old King's Yard, which we now call the Connaught Hospital and the Government Wharf. So on arrival at the Government Wharf, they said, oh, we are no longer slaves, we are now free. That's why you see the man make like this, I'm free at last. So when they arrived at the Government Wharf, the chain has been cut off and they said, we are now free, we are no longer slaves. But we have two asylum places at the Government Wharf. We have the Connaught Hospital and that of the mental home in the eastern part of Freetown. So the one at the Connaught Hospital, which is called the gateway to the Old King's Yard, there, all those slaves that were physically fit were kept there. So those that were mentally disturbed because they were seriously tortured on their way coming back, even some of them died on their way coming back. So those that were mentally disturbed, they took them to the mental home at the Isi part of Freetown, which was the first mental home in Sahara, West Africa. So those that were kept at the Connaught Hospital, they walked through this country where they were singing hymns in remembrance of those that died on their way coming. So the country we are seeing, it's up to 600 years now. The height of them is 160 and the length of it is 140.
Wow.
It's also a home for them where they were singing hymns and remembrance of those that died. Some of them even died under the country tree and they were buried under the country tree. And as you can see, it's also the home for the feather species. So this country, from there, these slaves, they walk through the side, they go to villages closer to the colony at that time, these real villages. We have the Leicester, the Gloucester, the Regent, the Bathurst, the Tonon. These are all original settlements of these slaves.
Okay. That's great. Wow.
And here again is another important personality as far as the history of Sierra Leone is concerned, Baibure.
African history.
African
Baibure
history.
is mentioned as well.
Yeah. So Baibure, he was born in 1814 in the northern part of Sierra Leone in Potloko in a village called Kasse. He was given a nickname called Kablai. The meaning of Kablai, it is a Timili word, one of the ethnic groups in Sierra Leone, that's somebody that never tires to fight war. In 1886, he revolted against the British when the British said his people should pay tax. He said, why my people should pay tax for houses or land belongs to them? But Baibure was so powerful because he belongs to the male secret society. So he was betrayed by his own people because they knew everything about Baibure. So he was betrayed and he was sold for £100 to the British. So they took him to Gold Coast now called Ghana. He was there for 7 years. He came back. He died in Sierra Leone and he was buried in Sierra Leone. So he was the hero of the whole tax war. He revolted against the British for his people. So we always remember him in the history of Sierra Leone and on our 1,000 years now, the currency, his face is there.
That was just what I wanted to say. His face is on the
One
Leone,
yes.
Because now we have the new Leone.
And the old Leones.
The old
so
Leone is still the same face.
Yes.
Baibure.
And we have Baibure Road in the eastern part of Freetown.
Sure, okay.
So we always remember him because of the role he played. Because we have a popular song. In fact, when we are young, going to our primary schools, there was a song they told us. Baibure was a warrior. He fought against the British. The British made it surrender. You know, these were songs that we are taught in our primary schools. You know, so we always remember him in the history of Sierra Leone. So we have another important personality again, Shengbe Pierre. Shengbe Pierre was born in 1813 in the southern part of Sierra Leone, in the Moyamba district. But he has the history of Sierra Leone and that of America. But in America they call him Jameson, but in Sierra Leone we call him Shengbe Pierre. He was captured in his farm and sold to a Spanish slave trader. This is the Anista boat. It is a 3-deck boat. Up here is where their masters were, down is where these slaves were 5,000 in number. Middle is where they do their negotiation and up is where the masters were. But when they were in this boat and they were treated like animals. Some of the girls were raped and some of them were killed and their remains were thrown into the sea because he was the head of all the slaves in this boat. If you go to Bones Island now, there is a history about when the slaves, they were taking the slaves from Sierra Leone, right? So he was head of the slaves. So he took the knife. One of the guys was having affairs with one of his masters. So he took the knife and handed the knife over to Shengepie. So he cut the chain and that of his fellow slaves, and he asked them to revolt against their former masters. They killed their captain, and they revolt against their former masters. But they were saying this thing in our local language. Took us back to Sierra Leone because they were headed to Cuba. But in Africa, we say where the sun rises is Africa and where it's fall is Europe. So, but unfortunately for them, on their way coming, and they were ambushed by the American Navy, and they were charged for 2 counts, more than piracy, because they saw dead body in this boat.
The boat was not
there, and the boat was not belongs to them. So they were charged for that. But there was a young boy in this boat called Kelly. And he wrote to the 6th president of the United States, John Quincy Adams, because he was an abolitionist, said they were captured as slaves. So because he was an abolitionist, he started for them in the court of law, and they were set free. Came back to Sierra Leone, and he died in Sierra Leone, and he was buried in Sierra Leone, in the southern part of Sierra Leone. But because of tradition, and if you are not part of the male secret society, you will never see the grave of Shengepie. You must belong to the male secret society. So because of that reason, we always remember him in the history of Sierra Leone. And our new Leones, the 5 Leones, his face is there also. Yes. So we always remember him in the history of Sierra Leone.
Wow.
Again, here is another important personality again called Mami Yoko. She was born in 1849 in the southern part of Sierra Leone in the Moyamba district in a village called Seneo. She was a woman of culture and ambition. If today women are saying 50-50, they started advocating for women. She started what we call the female genital mutilation. Why? Because in those days there was no schooling. So this is how they train our mothers, how to raise their own, even when they lost their husbands.
There's something I want to say about Madam Yoko. And this is something that has been really hitting me up. You know, Madam Yoko's husband was the king.
Yeah.
And then he happens to be the first king, to like rebel against the British tax.
Yes.
But he's not much mentioned in the history because they captured him and they brought him to Freetown by then.
Exactly.
And so Madam Yoko took his place.
So she became the first female queen in Sahara, West Africa.
Okay.
So obtained power at that time. So she was the only female.
Yeah.
So because you know, even to now, it is very difficult for women to be at that higher level. But only now,
so she became the first female queen
in Sahara, West
Africa. Wow.
So this started advocating for women. And she was given a silver medal by Queen Victoria because of her royalty. Why in those days, you know, when I said Bible fought against the British, when the British said these people should pay tax, and he was something like against that. Just what you were just explaining about his husband. Right? So she was given a silver medal by Queen Victoria because of her royalty. So we always remember in the history of Sierra Leone, we have this little hotel now once called the Mami Yoko Hotel.
Okay. Wow.
Here is again another very important personality called John Joseph Acker, who was born in 1927 and he was an ambassador of culture and versatile entertainer. He became the director of the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Service, which was the first radio station in Sahara, West Africa, and he was the founder of the Sierra Leone dance troupe. This dance troupe you are seeing is comprises of all the ethnic groups in Sierra Leone, and they have won a lot of awards in West Africa and out of Commonwealth as well. And the most unique part of our national anthem is doing that verse, land that we love, our Sierra Leone, to make to make the national anthem so sweet. Yes. So you can see, land that we love, our Sierra Leone, to hit in that verse to make our national anthem so sweet. And he instilled in us to know our culture and our tradition. So we always remember him in the history of Sierra Leone.